Welcome to English Time Daily Podcast. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Sophia. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that we believe is absolutely fundamental to your English language journey, your English mindset. It's not just about grammar rules or vocabulary lists, is it, Jordan?
Absolutely not, Sophia. While those are crucial components, the foundation of true English growth, the kind that leads to confident, fluid communication, truly begins with the right mindset. We often see learners get stuck, not because they lack knowledge, but because their internal dialogue, their mindset, holds them back.
Exactly. Think about it. You could have a dictionary's worth of vocabulary in your head, perfect grammar understanding, but if you're paralyzed by fear of making mistakes, or if you constantly doubt your abilities, all that knowledge stays locked away. That's why today we're going to explore confidence, positive thinking, and how to use simple language skills to speak without fear.
Let's start with confidence because it's often the biggest hurdle. What exactly is confidence in the context of speaking English? It's not about being arrogant or thinking you're perfect. It's about having belief in your ability to communicate effectively, even if it's not perfect.
Right. It's about the courage to open your mouth and try, knowing that mistakes are part of the learning process. Many learners are terrified of making errors, of being judged, or of not being understood. This fear can lead to avoidance, which ironically prevents them from ever improving.
And that's a vicious cycle. So how do we build this confidence? One key strategy is to start small and celebrate every tiny win. Don't wait until you can deliver a perfect speech to feel confident. Celebrate successfully ordering coffee in English, or asking for directions, or even just forming a complete sentence that gets your point across.
Those small victories accumulate and rewire your brain to associate speaking English with positive experiences. Another powerful technique is to shift your focus from perfection to communication. The goal isn't to speak like a native speaker from day one. The goal is to convey your message clearly and be understood.
Exactly. If someone understands what you're trying to say, you've succeeded. That's a huge confidence booster. And let's not forget about positive self-talk. Instead of thinking, I'm so bad at this, try reframing it to, I'm learning, and every attempt makes me better.
Yes, our internal dialogue is incredibly powerful. Challenging those negative thoughts and replacing them with encouraging ones can dramatically change your perception of your own abilities. And remember, everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Embrace them as valuable learning opportunities, not as failures.
Practicing in a safe environment is also crucial. This could be with a supportive language partner, a tutor, or even just talking to yourself in front of a mirror. The more you practice without the pressure of judgment, the more comfortable and confident you'll become when faced with real-life situations.
Building on confidence, let's talk about positive thinking. This isn't just about being optimistic. It's about cultivating a resilient mindset that helps you navigate the inevitable challenges of language learning. Learning a new language is tough, and there will be days when you feel frustrated or overwhelmed.
Absolutely. A positive outlook is like fuel for your learning engine. If you constantly dwell on how difficult English is or how slow your progress feels, you're essentially draining that fuel. Instead, focusing on your progress, no matter how small, and believing in your ability to overcome obstacles keeps that engine running.
One practical way to foster positive thinking is to actively challenge negative self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking, I'll never understand this grammar point, consciously rephrase it to, this grammar point is challenging, but I'm going to keep practicing until I get it. It's a subtle but powerful shift.
Precisely, and incorporating positive affirmations into your routine can be incredibly beneficial. Simple statements like, I am capable of learning English, or my English is improving every day, repeated regularly, can start to reprogram your subconscious mind and build a stronger belief in yourself
Another aspect of positive thinking is learning to view setbacks as opportunities. Maybe you misunderstood something in a conversation, or you scored lower than you hoped on a practice test. Instead of seeing these as failures, see them as data points that tell you where you need to focus your attention next.
That's a fantastic point, Sophia. Every mistake, every misunderstanding is a chance to learn and refine your skills. It's not a reflection of your intelligence or your potential, it's just part of the journey. And practicing gratitude for your progress, however small, can also significantly boost your positivity.
Taking a moment each day to acknowledge something you did well in English, even if it was just remembering a new word, can shift your perspective from what you lack to what you've achieved. This builds momentum and encourages you to keep going.
Now, let's connect this mindset to simple language skills. Many learners feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of English vocabulary and grammar. They try to learn everything at once and end up feeling frustrated. But the truth is, you don't need to be a walking dictionary or a grammar expert to communicate effectively.
Exactly. The goal, especially when you're starting out or trying to overcome fear, is to use what you know effectively. Focus on core vocabulary, the words you use most frequently in your daily life. Learn essential phrases for greetings, asking questions, expressing needs, and sharing basic information.
Simplifying sentence structures is another powerful tool. Instead of trying to construct complex sentences with multiple clauses, aim for clear, concise sentences. For example, instead of, "I would be delighted if you could possibly consider joining us for dinner this evening," you can simply say, "Would you like to have dinner tonight?"
Much less intimidating, right? And it gets the message across perfectly. This approach reduces the cognitive load and allows you to focus on conveying your meaning rather than getting bogged down in intricate grammatical rules. It builds confidence because you're successfully communicating.
Active listening is also a crucial simple skill. When you're speaking with someone, truly listen to what they're saying. This helps you understand, but it also gives you clues on how to respond using language you already know. You can often mirror their sentence structure or vocabulary.
And don't be afraid to paraphrase or ask for clarification. If you don't understand something, it's perfectly fine to say, "Could you please repeat that?" Or, "Do you mean?" Or, "So, if I understand correctly, you're saying," these simple phrases show you're engaged and help you ensure clear communication.
These aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of an effective communicator. They also buy you a little more time to process and formulate your response. It's all about adopting the good enough principle. Your English doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough to achieve your communication goal.
And that brings us to the ultimate goal, speaking without fear. When you combine confidence, positive thinking, and the strategic use of simple language skills, that fear starts to dissipate. You realize that you have the tools to navigate conversations, even if they're not perfect.
It's about shifting your internal narrative. Instead of, "What if I make a mistake?" it becomes, "What can I learn from this interaction?" or "How can I make myself understood?"
Practical tips for overcoming speaking anxiety include simple breathing exercises before you speak.
Yes, taking a few deep breaths can calm your nervous system and help you focus. Visualizing success is also incredibly powerful. Before a conversation, take a moment to imagine yourself speaking confidently and being understood. This mental rehearsal can prepare you for the real thing.
Finding conversation partners who are patient and supportive is invaluable. Look for language exchange groups, online communities, or even just a friend who's willing to practice with you without judgment. The more positive experiences you have, the more your brain will associate speaking English with comfort, not fear.
And don't shy away from recording yourself. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but listening back to your own voice can help you identify areas for improvement without the pressure of a live conversation. You'll often find you sound much better than you thought. Setting realistic goals is another key. Don't expect to be fluent in a month. Aim for consistent practice, even if it's just 10-15 minutes a day. Consistency, even more than intensity, is what leads to long-term progress and builds that unwavering confidence.
So, to recap, your English growth isn't solely dependent on what you study, but how you approach that study. Cultivate confidence by celebrating small wins, focusing on communication over perfection, and practicing positive self-talk.
Embrace positive thinking by challenging negative thoughts, using affirmations, and viewing setbacks as learning opportunities. And empower yourself with simple language skills, focusing on core vocabulary, clear sentences, active listening, and not being afraid to ask for clarification.
When you put these pieces together, you'll find that the fear of speaking English gradually diminishes, replaced by a sense of empowerment and excitement. Your mindset truly is your most powerful tool in mastering English.
We encourage all of you to start applying these principles today. Even a small shift in your mindset can create a ripple effect that transforms your entire English learning experience. Start believing in yourself, and your English will follow.
Thank you for joining us on English Time Daily Podcast. We hope this deep dive into your English mindset has given you valuable insights and practical strategies to speak without fear. Keep practicing, keep believing, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye for now.